Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hello. Hour number 4 of the Line Talk 99.5. And another example of the media freaking out and acting like they know what they're talking about. It doesn't seem that Kristi Noem's been fired. And I even, when I first heard this, I mentioned last hour, I'm like, there's a good chance that they're probably just moving her, that this is not just a straight ish canning of Kristi Noem, and that seems to be the case. Now, she's actually speaking now in Nashville. She had a planned event, I guess, before this happened. It's crazy. Like Trump likes chaos to an extent, and he had to have known she was about to speak live in Nashville. So he probably was like, yeah, let me go ahead and put this out right before she hits the stage. But here's what Trump said on Truth Social. He said, I'm pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Mclain, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security effective March 31st. So Kristi Noem's still in the position, seemingly, for the rest of the month. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere we are announcing on Saturday in Doral, Florida. I thank Kristi for her service at Homeland. So the media is all like, Kristi Noem's been fired. It's because she made too many commercials. And it's like,
man, say that. What her title is? What is this again?
She's going to be the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas.
Dang, Shield of the Americas, man. That's got a ring to it.
That's some superhero-ish right there.
Yes, it is.
And it sounds like it's talking about the Western Hemisphere and just everything that's going on, Venezuela, Cuba, and Trump just made comments earlier today that Cuba was about to fall and that he's currently in talks with Cuba about what to do to kind of smooth things over and help them become maybe liberated in a way. I don't know what's going to happen there. He goes on to say, serving 10 years in the United States House of Representatives and 3 in the Senate, Mclain has done a tremendous job representing the wonderful people of Oklahoma, where I won all 77 out of 77 counties in 2016, 2020, and 2024. That's pretty good. A MAGA warrior and former undefeated professional MMA fighter. I did not know that about Mclain. Mclain truly gets along well with the people and knows the wisdom and courage required to advance our America First agenda. As the only Native American in the Senate, Mclain is a fantastic advocate for our incredible tribal communities. Mclain will work tirelessly to keep our border secure, stop migrant crime, murderers, and other criminals from illegally entering our country, in the scourge of illegal drugs, and make America safe again. Mclain will make a spectacular Secretary of Homeland Security. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So, anyway, the media said, Kristi Noem's getting fired. Can you believe it? And I was just going off the reports that we got. I was like, it's kind of weird that Trump would be shuffling his cabinet this close. And I mean, we could speculate on why he did it or whatever, but it turns out it wasn't even true. They're moving her. Let's, for the time being, while she's speaking live in Nashville, John Bird, let's dip into that real quick to see what she has to say for a moment.
Of an individual who's a criminal, the safety of an environment of a courthouse or a jail, and they can be turned over to ICE so that we have the ability to return them.
All right, so let me hop in here real quick. They're actually... Okay, so they got a live shot of Mclain. He's walking through the... Is he at the Capitol right now? He's on the phone. Reporters are trying to talk to him. He's a busy man. He might be talking to the president. Get away from him. Look at him. Yeah, he's at the Capitol. I think reporters are trying to talk to him, and he won't talk to him. Hey, man, give the man some time. He just found out. I mean, I guess it's a big news story, but anyway, we'll see. Kristi Noem seems to just be talking about some of the initiatives and everything else. I listened to her a little bit during the break, and she didn't seem to really address the move or anything like that. But I think it's a good move. Again, Markway Mullen, fantastic pick. I think he'll do a great job. And I also like the fact that he's just shuffling people around and not firing people. Like that because that shows when you fire people, it kind of it gives the vibe to people that there's a little bit of chaos going on. And now more than ever, you need to show unity with what's going on, whether it's Venezuela or Cuba or, the immigration in this country, especially Iran. You want the administration to all seemingly be on the same page as the Trump administration is tackling countless issues. But back to the immigration thing and back to the hearing from yesterday with, again, Tim Walz and Keith Ellison on Capitol Hill. Keith Ellison, by the way, an absolute D-bag. I mean, he's the worst. He's your stereotypical, like, head of the snake type of Democrat. Like he's a real snake in the grass. But Clay Higgins was questioning him at one point and asking him about the fraud as a whole, because it's not just Medicaid, it's food stamps, it's these social services, it's all these foreign born, these some of them are, whether they're here illegally or they're here legally, they're foreign born, they come to this country, they end up in Minnesota, and they create all of these shell companies, hospice companies, things of this nature, stuff in the healthcare field where they don't have any customers, or they're not serving anybody, and if they are, they're serving like 2 or 3 people, and then raking in millions of dollars in taxpayer funds through grants and everything else. Clay Higgins was asking Keith Ellison about that, and he's trying to pretend like they're actually investigating fraud because Keith Ellison is the attorney general in Minnesota, but they actually aren't. Listen to this exchange.
You have the authority to lead your state's effort to respond to this massive fraud at the state level from within the healthcare realm, where government money is being stolen at very, very high levels, unprecedented levels in your state. Are you leading that effort for the state of Minnesota? You're addressing it. Are you leading it? Are you leading the effort?
We are leading the effort to prosecute Medicaid fraud in Minnesota.
I'm not talking about Medicaid fraud. Don't hide behind that. You have the authority to prosecute anything criminally that the governor asks you to. And this thing is big. I'm giving you an opportunity, sir. Are you leading the criminal investigative effort into this massive fraud across the board in the healthcare spectrum in the state of Minnesota or not?
We are following the law. And
you are not leading. You're not leading. I'm going to say, Mr. Chairman, that the Attorney General of the state of Minnesota should resign.
I love Clay Higgins, by the way. You remember he was the one that was a sheriff in Louisiana.
Oh my gosh!
And he was telling the criminals and the people on their wanted list, he's like, "Come step to me. You think you're a man, you think you're a tough guy, come to me, buddy. I'll take you down one-on-one." Fox News has still got on their chyron, Trump fires DHS Secretary Noam, replacing with Oklahoma Senator Markway Mullen. I mean, if we're being technical, is she technically fired? Because he didn't say anything about firing her in the tweet.
Yeah, that doesn't. I wonder where they got that.
Look, Kristi Noem speaks after Trump firing.
That's misleading. She was already scheduled to speak.
Because if he is firing Kristi Noem, he's not going to put her in another position. Whatever. The news is so ridiculous. The media is absolutely ridiculous. Ridiculous. But yeah, so Keith Ellison hiding behind Medicaid saying, "Oh yeah, we're prosecuting Medicaid and everything else." And really they're not, and they're not prosecuting all the other fraud. There's not the $9 billion in fraud is not simply coming from Medicaid. It's coming from a lot of different places. And Tim Walz and Keith Ellison absolutely do not care and are probably involved with it. I mean, they have actually harassed and gone after whistleblowers that have tried to notify people about this fraud. I mean, they've been retaliated against. And it's wild because a lot of this comes back to the immigration issue. And even if you go watch shows like The View, they've got Elizabeth. Y'all remember Elizabeth Hasselbeck? I'll play this for you next. Elizabeth Hasselbeck is apparently their new conservative on the show. Even she's on there and making some killer points, putting these yentas on The View in their place. And who knows? Maybe there are some frustrations that resulted in Trump moving Kristi Noem. Remember, I mentioned that ad campaign, $220 million that Kristi Noem spent on that, which it has to be frustrating for Trump as he's trying to root out fraud. He was asked by Reuters today. They said Kristi Noem said under oath during her testimony that Trump knew about the money being spent on the ad campaign. Reuters asked Trump today about that statement, and he said, "I knew nothing about it," which would mean Kristi Noem told a fib under oath. I mean, I wouldn't. There's not going to be anything come of it. But if that is the case, if that is a source of frustration for Trump, then the fact that he's moving her tells me that he's fine with everything else she's done. She's actually taking questions now, so we may get some answers out of that. Let's go to this live back in Nashville with Kristi Noem.
With the unique reality of Hawaii's isolated geography and its dependence on international tourism.
Yeah, you do have some unique situations for us, and I hope that we've worked well with you. We have a presence in Hawaii, where you wouldn't necessarily see a large ICE presence doing immigration enforcement. More of what we are pursuing in Hawaii would be through our TSA officials, and then also we have CBP there, of course, because of all the travel back and forth and individuals. CBP is the largest law enforcement agency that we have, one of the largest in the country, and it does all traveler information internationally, and so I'm sure that you're interacting with them quite often. So we don't, as far as targeted operations, you may see a presence in Hawaii if we know specific individuals there. And we are tracking and have signed security agreements with other countries. I think since I've been Homeland Security Secretary, we've signed 27 different security agreements with other countries to share information with us. If they have a dangerous individual that they think maybe has traveled into the United States, we will share those databases with each other. They share theirs with us so that we know when some of these individuals are coming into the country. And that may be, I'd say, the vast majority of the interactions you'll see in Hawaii. If you've got some suggestions for us or experience, I'd sure love to hear it.
We'll definitely do that. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Yes, sir.
My name's Jeff Waiter.
Okay, so we've
All right,
been
so
listening.
they're not going to give us any good questions. I wanted to know about, like, give us a direct response as to what's going on with all of that. But
Yeah, I bet she won't. I'm sure she's been told mum's the word.
that's true. She may have been told not to say anything. So we'll see. Because you also take the reaction from Mclain, who was on Capitol Hill and had reporters chasing him, and he was on the phone the whole time. He's like, "No, I'm not talking about it right now." And look at him. There's a moments ago a shot of him walking back into the Capitol, and I mean he's surrounded by like 20 reporters. Look at this. What's the reporters come up? They're like, "Mclain, tell us what happened." He's like, "I'm not talking."
Mclain.
That sounds like a bird chirping. Mclain. Alabama Men's Clinic bringing you this part of the show. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. This has got to do with your low T. Don't let your wife fire you from the bedroom, because if you can't get it up, she might do that. There's no need for you to be in there. If your unit's not working, what are you even doing in there? You might as well sleep on the couch, buddy. You don't want to find yourself in that situation. You don't want to disappoint your wife. You want to make sure you perform. And listen, for us guys, it's important. Like, we want to get in there and we want to be a stud. We want to be like rock stars. We want to get on the backside. We want to get all the accolades. We'd be like, "Oh my God, that was the best night of my life." You want that as a man. You want that, and for some of y'all, it's not happening. You got problems, and you don't understand why. You don't know why this is happening to you. Well, it happens, man, and there's no reason to be embarrassed about it or ashamed. It's just you need a little tune-up. That's what it is. It's a tune-up. It's just a little adjusting. And that's what they do at Alabama Men's Clinic. They get you set back on track. These are guys that use these treatments. They know exactly what you need. They've suffered from the same things that you're suffering from now, so they understand. You're not going to a doctor's office where they're just, "Yeah, tell me what's wrong with you. Check it off. Okay, we're gonna give you this." No, they listen to you. They get to the bottom, to the root causes of what's going on, and they get it fixed, so you don't have to deal with that stuff anymore. So I highly encourage you to get with Alabama Men's Clinic. The guys over there are great. Jeremy's great. Set you an appointment on the website. Take you 30 seconds to set an appointment. AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. You can get tested, see where your T's at, tell them what your problems are. If you're wanting some kind of enhancement, I mean, they've got options out there that could literally change your life inside and outside of the bedroom. So call them at this number. Make sure you tell them I sent you, 205 598 7000. It's 205 598 7000. And online, AlabamaMen'sClinic.com. These guys are absolutely fantastic. Let me go back to the View real quick. I told you that Elizabeth Hasselbeck has replaced Alyssa. What's her name? Alyssa Farah. She was one of these snake oil salesmen in the Trump administration in the first term. So she's a conservative. She's not a conservative. Don't let her fool you. But she's been replaced. I don't know if she's on leave, maternity leave, or whatever. But Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who used to be one of the panelists on The View back in the day, if everybody remembers, wasn't she married to the quarterback?
Yeah,
The
she
Seahawks
was.
quarterback. What was his name? Matt Hasselbeck?
Matt Hasselbeck.
Yeah. She's a staunch conservative.
Yeah, she used to be on Survivor. She was a finalist on Survivor.
Well, she gets in there, and they're talking about illegal immigration and borders and everything else. And she lays out for these idiots on The View the perfect example as to why we need secure borders.
I think all lives matter to God. And we're in uncommon times, so we need to have uncommon sense about things like this. Yes, there will be mistakes made, but I think if Kristi Noem were up for promotion right now and she put forward the statistics that 0 illegals released into the U.S. for 10 months straight have not crossed, okay, that nearly 3 million aliens have left the United States, that we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years, that fentanyl trafficking is down 56% at the border, and daily encounters have gone down 96%. Hang on one second. We need a strong border, especially now with our current global situation. And I believe that you may say you don't want border control and you're against ICE, but I actually don't believe you in your daily lives. How many people in the audience here had to go through security to get here? Raise your hand. Just be honest. Otherwise, you go to jail, I guess, for illegal trespassing, right? This is an authorized audience. They had to go through security to get through the border, to get right here, to just hear us talk. We need strong borders more than ever right now. We are being infiltrated.
But Elizabeth, can I give you on the border when Renee Good and Alex Peretti were murdered, and death is not a mistake. That was a murder. No, that is a murder. Now, let me.
What about Alex Peretti?
Let's not be.
What about Nicole Good?
Millions and millions we're talking about, and they go back to the same old talking point.
And she's like, y'all had to get a security clearance just to come into the show. 205-545-9950. 545-9950. I have not been paying attention to the text line today. Just too much going on. Sorry about it. But we'll keep it rolling. One way or another, we'll keep it rolling. Let's see. Chuck Davis bringing you this part of the show. ChuckDavisLaw.com. ChuckDavisLaw.com. My personal attorney, as you know. If you've got any sort of need for representation, divorce, custody, wills, you need wills done. If you got your will done, do it. Do it for your kids. Do it for your family. Make sure your parents have got it done. Make sure your grandparents have got it done if they're still with us. Probate and contracts, real estate stuff. He can handle all that. Any sort of paperwork things, you know what I'm saying? Personal injury. If you've been in a car wreck and been injured or had some sort of accident, maybe a slip and fall, or you've even got a wrongful death case that you haven't had addressed, get with Chuck, man. This is his specialty. He can get on top of that stuff and get you the compensation you need. But you got to reach out, man. You got to reach out. Let him know that I sent you, and he's my guy. He's going to take care of you. My personal attorney. Don't forget that. I wouldn't send my personal attorney to you if I didn't trust him. If I didn't trust him, he wouldn't be my personal attorney. ChuckDavisLaw.com, 205-823-9992. No representation is made that the legal services provided are superior to the legal services provided by other lawyers. Real quick, Markwayne Mullen speaking on Capitol Hill. Let's hear what he has to say.
Kid from Westville, Oklahoma, gets to serve in the president's cabinet. That's pretty neat. So thank you guys.
How did you find out? Via the truth?
He's really not wanting to talk to the press today.
Initial question.
Let's see if he says something else.
Happening within DHS. What would be your main objective or goal?
We've got, we're gonna get focused on that, and we'll get back to you on certain details.
Yeah.
When do you expect to be confirmed?
Were you surprised, Senator?
The phone call I got from the president was right before the statement went out.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. All right, so that's Markwayne Mullen.
Right, so
the press is chomping at the bit to get their hands on him to get some questions answered. So this is how Trump operates. Like, he goes at warp speed. He calls Markwayne Mullen, says, "Hey, can I get you to be DHS secretary?" Markwayne Mullen says, "Sure." And then Trump puts out the tweet just like that. I mean, that's pretty wild.
He
dude.
keeps it rolling, man.
He does. And now there is a concern that Markwayne Mullen will be missing from the Senate now. Remember, the Republicans have 54 in the Senate, and it's very important that the Republicans hold the majority. He will be replaced by a Republican in Oklahoma. Oklahoma's a Republican state, as Trump noted in his Truth Social. He won 77 out of 77 counties in Oklahoma in all three elections. So he'll be replaced. I hope he's replaced with somebody solid. They got to get him in there quick because you can't, we got things like the SAVE Act and everything else that we're trying to get through, and you need every single vote you can get. He'll be in the Senate until March 31st, I guess. He'll be in there the rest of the month, so there's still some time for him to get some work done, but I think he'll do a good job at that. And Kristi Noem will move on to something else. I think just from talking to people that I know that are in that orbit, Kristi Noem on a personal level is a bit of, how do I describe this? She's a bit of a handful, if you will. She's a little bit of a diva, okay? And that causes tensions with people she works with, such as security, Secret Service, the people that are handlers, if you will. She's and this is what I hear from the inside, is that she is a handful, and I don't know that contributes to Trump's decision. But he sees her as somebody that is an asset, but needs to be moved to a different position. So, let you know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And I don't know if they've got. I'll be interested to see as far as replacing Markwayne Mullen. Do they have time to have an election in the upcoming midterms to replace him, or do they have to hold a special election? Or I don't know what the rules are on that in Oklahoma, but they'll figure it out. All right, I'm way behind already. So, John Bird, if you will, bring out that big, beautiful will, because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Wheel of Songbirds!
That doesn't belong
That doesn't
there.
belong there! I just hit myself in the face with
Yes,
the
you
one.
did.
These things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
That doesn't belong there up first. Let's see what we have here. Get my stories together. Hang tight. Just another thing to set me back. Stand by. We're getting to it. Bada bing, bada boom, and bada boom. And okay, I'm ready. Here we go.
All right, bring it.
Up first, headline reads, North Carolina woman sues the Dodgers after getting hit in the shoulder by a buzzball at a game.
Okay, call me stupid, but what's a buzzball?
A buzzball is an alcoholic drink that comes in a little plastic container that's in the shape of a ball.
Ah.
It's kind of like a, what you would get with like a mixed drink, like a mudslide or whatever. It's already pre-made.
Right, okay.
And so it's got 15% alcohol. It's pretty small, but unless this thing's full of alcohol, I don't see how it could really hurt anybody, because if it's empty, it's like it weighs like nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's plastic. A North Carolina woman has sued the Los Angeles Dodgers for negligence after she suffered an injury when she was hit in the shoulder by a buzzball alcoholic drink container during a game in 2025.
Injury? Really?
The woman, who is representing herself in the lawsuit, says that the drink, which is sold at the stadium and served in a circular-shaped container, was thrown, dropped, or otherwise propelled from an elevated seating or standing area above where she was sitting. She says that it struck her directly in the shoulder with significant force. She claims the impact caused immediate pain, bruising, and swelling, as well as the loss of normal use of her arm.
Oh, man.
Quote, as a direct result of the incident, plaintiff's planned 4-day family vacation to Los Angeles and Disneyland was substantially disrupted and deprived of its intended enjoyment. Additionally, she claims her 2 young children, who were also at the game, experienced, quote, fear, shock, and emotional distress from seeing her injured.
Oh, my God.
Along with negligence, the lawsuit also notes that the woman is suing the Dodgers for premises liability because they should have known that serving alcoholic beverages in containers capable of being thrown or falling from elevated areas created a foreseeable risk of harm to spectators. It also alleges they failed to take reasonable steps to remedy or warn of the dangerous condition. The lawsuit was filed Tuesday and says that she has suffered and continues to suffer physical pain, emotional distress, and a loss of enjoyment on top of past and future medical expenses. As such, she is seeking unspecified damages and demands a trial by jury on all issues so triable.
Oh, my gosh. How quick is that going to get dropped?
First off, I don't think that anybody would have dropped their buzzball if it was full, right?
Right.
And probably what happened is it was the upper level and somebody dropped their drink. Maybe it was half full or whatever. But this is a money grab.
Absolutely.
And it's like, so what doesn't belong there, the buzzball or the lawsuit? That's the question.
Well, the fact that they didn't give any details about was the buzzball full?
It probably wasn't. It was probably the container that weighs, 0.2 ounces. Literally weighs nothing. It's literally and it's about this tall, John Bird.
And it floated down.
Yeah, it's about this tall and it's about this wide, and it's a ball.
Yeah. That's worse than the Kramer incident, spitting incident.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, where he spit on what was it, a famous New York Yankee, and they talked about it like it was
A-Rod.
A-Rod, and they were talking about how it was like Kennedy being shot. They were doing like when he spit, and then the spit bounced off of this and.
Back into the left.
Yeah, back into the left. It was pretty funny, and I'm sure there was more injury there than there was with this buzz ball.
Wow.
Give me a break.
Next up, man rescued by firefighters after getting stuck in phone box trying to order kebab. A man had to be rescued by firefighters after becoming trapped inside a phone box while trying to order a kebab. Why would the first line just repeat the headline? The incident happened in Manchester, UK, when a man stepped into a classic red phone booth hoping to use the phone inside to order food. Who is using a payphone to order food? I mean,
I guess the English.
Is the English still living in the Stone Age?
I don't know. It's like the Doctor Who episode.
However, not only did the booth not contain a working phone, I mean, when's the last time you've seen a working payphone? Most of them are just the skeleton of the phone, the little box that would be there and there's no phone there. So it says, not only did the booth not contain a phone, but the situation worsened when the door shut and locked behind him, leaving him stuck inside.
Oh, and nowhere to call.
Yeah, why does that have a lock on it? Yeah, and that sucks because obviously he doesn't have a cell phone. According to the Manchester Evening News, witnesses said the man was trapped in the booth for around an hour after the door locked, leaving him unable to get out. Friends accompanying him attempted to help, but were unable to get the door open themselves. One passerby told the outlet that the man had entered the phone box specifically to call for a kebab before becoming trapped. The door subsequently slammed shut behind him and locked. As the booths are typically accessed with special keys, there was no easy way for anyone outside to free him. Eventually, firefighters were called to the scene and forced the door open while onlookers gathered nearby. While most of the UK's iconic red phone booths are no longer in use, thousands remain in place, either converted into small community libraries or containers for emergency medical equipment such as defibrillators. This is far from the first time members of the public have found themselves stuck in unlikely places. Either in February, passengers of the Lufthansa flight were trapped on their plane overnight after their flight was canceled. Boy, could you imagine getting stuck on a plane overnight on the runway?
No.
Ugh, that would suck.
That's weird. Well, I would think they would. A library?
Yeah,
you said a library?
Yeah, they turn them into a library or like a food pantry or whatever. But why? I mean, if you live in the UK, you know that nobody's using these things anymore. They don't have phones in them. What are you doing going in there to order a kebab anyway? Dummy.
I mean, surely his friends had a cell phone. What an idiot.
What an idiot.
Idiot. That makes me mad. That was English.
Last but not least, headline.
Here it is. Bring it.
Golf cart driver arrested for DUI after wife falls out on the way home from the club.
There we go. Now we're talking.
Sarasota, Florida, a Northport man faces DUI charges after his wife was seriously injured when she fell out of his golf cart. According to a probable cause affidavit, North Police responded to a call around 9:30 p.m. on March 1st after a 911 call reported a woman had fallen from a golf cart on Creek 9 Drive. When officers arrived, they found James Pranti behind the wheel of his golf cart. Pranti told officers he and his wife had been partying at the club since noon.
Really?
He said he and his wife were on their way home when she fell out of the golf cart and hit her head on the pavement.
Ouch.
The woman was unconscious and unresponsive. She was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital as a trauma patient. Officers said they saw empty alcohol containers in the golf cart. Pranty failed a roadside sobriety test with breathing samples measuring .197 and .194. Pranty was arrested and charged with DUI with serious bodily injury.
Dang.
It sounds like his wife was just drunk and she fell out.
Yeah.
I don't know that you need to charge him with DUI with serious bodily injury, but maybe you do.
Stupidity. Just charge him with that.
Yeah, charge him. Everybody in everybody in all three of these stories were stupid. Stupid people.
They don't belong here.
And that's
Take them out of this
why they don't belong there. Forgot to cut my mic back on. Noto Roofing one more time for you. NOTOroofing.com. NOTOroofing.com. My roofing company. I'll tell you one more time. I'm going to say one more time for those of you in Moody, Pinson, and Trustville. You had some nasty weather over the weekend. I think this was on Friday night, and there was a lot of hail reported from that storm. Hail is one of the big drivers that causes roof damage, and you need to get it inspected. If you haven't had your roof inspected yet, go ahead and get that done now. It's so important. Noto's more than happy to come out there and handle that for you. Let them do it. Let them get you hooked up and make sure you're all right. If you got a small problem, if the hail is caused like a teeny tiny problem, they'll get up there and fix it on the spot. That's what we call our complimentary roof tune-up. They'll fix it. They won't charge you anything. If they do see some major problems, they'll let you know. And they'll say, listen, you got this, this, and this going on. If you want us to do it, we're more than happy to do it. If you don't want or you want to wait, that's okay too. We just wanted to make you aware that you have this going on. So you got nothing to lose, everything to gain. 205-848-2299 is the number. That's 205-848-2299, and find all their information online, notoroofing.com. Boy, Fox News is really committed to this whole DHS story. I mean, I get it's a big deal or whatever, but like they've got cameras posted outside of Markwayne Mullen's office, and they're it's like watching a live stream. It's like, okay, it's a big deal, but like we're at war right now, like, and Nancy Guthrie is still missing. Like, there's some other things going on.
Poor Nancy.
Yeah, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Let's see. What do we got here? Looking through the text line. The Oklahoma governor will appoint a replacement for Mullen until a special election. Yeah, there'll be somebody in place. I'll be interested to see who that is. Let me refresh this. Something's going on here. Well, that refreshes. Let me tell you about Mandu. MANDUU.com. Mandu.com. Love Mandu. And it's not just for men, even though it sounds like maybe it's just for guys. It's not. It's for women, too. There's just as many women as there are guys that go to Mandu and get their workout in. 15-minute workout. Full body workout that can literally change your entire life. I'm not exaggerating about that either. It'll literally change your health and how you view your health. It's great. Electronic muscle stimulation, EMS technology is what they call it. So you put a suit on, and for those of you watching on YouTube, you got sensors here and here on your pecs and on your stomach and on your glutes and your thighs, and you got the option to add some to your calves or above your knees. It's very targeted. Like if you got specific things that you want to work on, you can target those areas. They will target those areas for you because you have a personal trainer that's walking you through it and helping you get set up and everything else. Do your 15-minute workout, you're out of there, cuzzy. It's really that easy, man. And I love it, man. I'm so glad to be able to do Mandu. It's done wonders. John Bird has seen great results from Mandu. Damian Mitchell, there's a lot of us around the station that have done it at one point in time. And I'm going to continue to do it, but I want to see you guys up there at Mandu as well. We may be working out together one day. Who knows? Mandu in Homewood, the number 205-438-6003. That's 205-438-6003. Online, mandu.com. That's MANDUU.com. And don't forget, brand new Tuscaloosa location. Same thing applies. You can get a free session. And if you sign up in the month of March, you get 10% off your first month. And after 90 days, you get 5% off of each monthly charge for as long as you do Mandu. And don't forget about Huntsville location as well. All that information, mandu.com, MANDUU.com. That's a wrap, John Bird. We did it.
We made it.
We made it through another show, which means Leland Whaley is up next. Everybody ready for Leland Live? We'll be back tomorrow with a Fun King Friday. Until then, see you, cuz!